No, no, that's wrong. Dixie Diamonds 374. Mets 1:27 a.m. Dixie 10:27 a.m. Upon the removal of Captain Shippen's handcuffs and with Brency disabled and seemingly certain to be headed to the Rochelle, Balloony broke his observation link with Shippen and again provided a fastest thought replay to his Australian allies. All right, everyone, I've severed my link with Captain Shippen, so we're all clear to speak with one another. Does anyone have vital information we should know about? No, Jerald said, but, well, what about the bad man's leg? It looked terrible being bent and broken sideways. It did, and I'm sure it was. I'm sorry to have subjected you to that, Jerald. If he hadn't tried to pull the other man's gun, then that wouldn't have happened to him. It is terrible, but it was completely avoidable. The bright side is that no one got shot, and Brency will receive expert care on board the Rochelle. I'm going to share what I can see and hear from the Wewere. I should be able to hear what they're saying, and if I can, I won't have to use any form of telepathy, so we'll be free to converse with each other during my broadcast of what I see and hear. But any conversation we have will have to be kept to an absolute minimum, if any. Otherwise, things will be very confusing. Are we ready? Ready, Jerald yipped. Me too, Cheeks added. Big B, scanning the scene below Za and noting that all three PT boats were reducing the space between themselves and the Wewere, said, "Wonderful," his word delivered lovingly. "It certainly looks as though the Coast Guard PT boats are getting closer to the Wewere. Let's focus on what we can see and what we can hear. This may be the beginning of the end," he added as he mentally zoomed as close as possible from his vantage of 1,000 meters. "Those boats are getting closer, aren't they?" Seaver asked Nunn. "Looks like," a pursed lip, nostrils flared, Nunn replied. "No need to panic, at least not yet. We're almost home and they haven't signaled us in any way. I'm hoping the goal's to spook Max and Min and leave the rest of us be." "Leave the rest of us as witnesses," Seaver said softly. "You said it, not me," Nunn replied with a shrug. "But I'm not about to contradict you on that one." "They're speeding up, Cap," Fleming hollered from the back of the boat before heading to the bow. "This might be their move." "Hey," Maximus said from the boat's stern, "they're catching up with us or what?" as he stood and scanned all sides but the front of the boat. "I think they are," he added before heading to the bow. "It might," Fleming said, shaking his head minutely. "But what do you say we wait and see before getting panicky? Deal?" "Yeah, Cap, yeah. I'm just saying, I know what you're doing, but Wewere!" A sailor with a loudspeaker blared from the trailing boat. "Cut your engines and prepare to be boarded. I repeat, cut your engines and prepare to be boarded." "What the hell?" a furious Maxima Brency shouted towards the bow. "What the hell?" His exclamation persuading Nunn to decelerate and then accelerate to full speed in the hope that this would knock Max to the boat's deck. A final wish granted before he cut his engines as ordered and awaited his fate.